when I was president of the United States, I want to remind you all of the other policies that I passed besides the removal of the Helium Act. When I had a Democratic supermajority, I passed NAFTA, I passed the crime bill, I passed normal trade relations with China.
Gritty, we need to talk at some point, have a little bit of an educational moment, teachable moment here. No, this is somebody who's regular in here. No Kings is a bunch of libs that care about being comfortable, and Trump makes them very uncomfortable. So, and it's stupid because we don't have a king. We just have we have a kind of fascist oligarchy with like a sock puppet, right? But socialism has nothing to do with that, right? Socialism is when workers own the means of production. So we don't have that either, except for maybe a few handful of co-ops in a few places.
It's really hard to say because the fact of the matter is, LBJ was obviously the most favorable president to Israel. Nixon hated Israel. He hated the Jews, but hey, listen, at that time, it is what it is.
Oh, you think he was being ironic? Okay, sorry then.
And then I would say, Clinton's relationship with Israel was extremely favorable, as was George W. Bush's, because George W. Bush is a shit-kicking dumbass who, was an evangelical Christian Zionist. So naturally, there was going to be an acceleration, if you will, and why he was so ready, willing, and able to take Satan Yahu's word about, oh, we should definitely invade Iraq. That's a great idea. And then, of course, Obama was no better. And then you have Trump. And Joe Biden, oh my God, he gleefully admits that he's a Zion scumbag.
Now, the military is most definitely not socialist. The military is fascist and authoritarian and designed to basically maintain supremacy and hegemony. So no, it is the actual opposite of socialism. Socialism is, again, workers owning their own means of production. So it's people all benefiting from the social system. So it's the opposite.
I also want to say one more thing about the Bushes, and this is, again, why, it's 6 to 1, half a dozen of the other between them and the Clintons in terms of who is the worst dynastic political family of the 20th century. The one thing that you have to remember very importantly about the Bushes, Prescott Bush made his fortune through the State Department funding the Third Reich. That's a fact. That's a fact. And so when you think about the Nuremberg trials, and yes, Goering and Hess and Rudolf Haas and a whole bunch of other Nazi war criminals got what they had coming to them. But you know who never got what they had coming to them, ladies and gentlemen? The banking cartels that actually funded the entire fucking thing. They have never had to suffer what they should have suffered as a result of what they did. And the Bushes are a prime example of a family that was built on blood money. Now, of course, the Clintons have done it as well. And so this brings me to what I think is a very important point here when it comes to the deciphering differences between the two major parties. There is none, and I'll prove it. This is Hillary Clinton in 2007.
The Iranians to know that if I'm the president, we will attack Iran. Whatever stage of development.
How dare you? No warning, no nothing. No, nothing? I don't get a warning? I don't get anything? What kind of thing is that?
Again, you could always tell what period it is based on our haircut.
Okay. I want the Iranians to know that if I'm the president, we will attack Iran.
Oh, yeah.
God, that internet lasts forever, doesn't it, Hill?
It sure does.
Whatever stage of development they might be in their nuclear weapons program in the next 10 years, during which they might foolishly consider launching an attack on Israel, we would be able to totally obliterate them.
We're totally going to kill them. We're going to obliterate them. Why? Because he's such an unkempt, completely distasteful person that you're offended by it. But when Hillary says it, Yas Queen, when she comes out and says it, that makes it acceptable.
Terrible thing to say, But those people who run Iran need to understand that, because that perhaps will deter them from doing something that would be reckless, foolish, and tragic.
You know, one of the reasons I became president.
Let me tell you something. She is the queen of reckless, foolish, and tragic. So, you know, she understands those things. And that ain't no way to go through life, bitch.
You know, one of the ways I became president is because I wasn't stupid enough to make statements like that when I was interviewed. That's a fact. But that's 2007. In case you're wondering, did the opinions change with the powers that be on the Democratic establishment side once the
I don't think so. Wait. Are they trying to liberate the Iranians?
Oh, completely.
Because the Iranians live under such oppression?
This interview, keep in mind, is from a year after the genocide in Gaza was underway.
Or foreign policy. Which foreign country do you consider to be
First of all, just the fact that she's sitting
like me. That's like me. I have gnats. I have these gnats. What the hell?
You know, Kamala, when you're a shitty person, they usually attract bugs. No pun intended.
Hey, I have gnats. Don't say that.
Greatest adversary.
Well, there are different reasons that we should be thoughtful about each. Most recently, I think there's an obvious one in mind, which is Iran.
This is coming from the person who was as loud as this is a person who was as loud as anybody when it came to support for Ukraine, thinking that, oh yeah, this is a great idea. We're totally going to get the Ruskies. And a person who she is working so hard for a ceasefire.
Sounds like this.
Alex, you will never ever live that down, and no one should ever let you.
And who do you think? Who's in Kamala's ear? Do you think? Could it be this bitch? Oh, I don't know. They both. I love this picture. If you don't know, this is from the night of Kamala's loss when she wasn't with her team and her people. She was sitting and pouting in the back with Hillary.
Oh, yeah.
Glorious.
And look, I mean, Iran has American blood on their hands, okay?
Really?
And what we saw in terms of just...
And no one pushes back.
This attack on Israel, 200 ballistic missiles.
And there it is. We'll play it one more time.
And nobody pushes back. When she says... You are not a journalist. If you are a person and someone says to you that Iran has American blood on their hands and you don't follow up with how so, in what way, what was that? You're not, that is, what blood is on their hands?
Well, remember, there's something very important here that you have to keep in mind. If there's one thing we learned about how she conducted business when she was running, everything was under strict control. What you can ask, what you can't ask, if you even deviate from it, and everything is pre-recorded. Nothing is live, nothing. That's why she wouldn't sit down for an interview with Joe Rogan, because they wanted him to pre-record. He said, I ain't doing that shit. You either sit down and we have a conversation or we don't.
And he wouldn't have even pushed back, which is what makes her so stupid. Right. He's the easiest person to go on with. He doesn't ever push back.
And you know what the funniest thing? It's not even scary. The funniest part about all this, ladies and gentlemen, this blithering idiot, as the Road to All Act it just put in the chat, because it's funny how some minds think alike. This blithering idiot actually thinks she's going to run for something again.
Please. But here's the thing. There's no one else anyway. She doesn't. They're all bad. They have no one.
This is why, and this is as much of a reason why AOC thinks that she's presidential material, because the field is just so pathetic that she actually, now, do I think Alex could win the nomination? If she completely sells herself out and the super delegates support her. If you think the Democratic Party will not rig the presidential primary every single time, you deserve everything you have coming to you. It's been proven. If the door is cemented shut, you can't get through it, no matter what you do. And that's it. So this is one more proof positive, but I want to play the small part again because she lets the cat out of the bag.
And what we saw in terms of just this attack on Israel, 200 ballistic missiles, what we need to do to ensure that Iran never achieves the ability to be a nuclear power, that is one of my highest priorities.
So if you have proof that Iran is building a nuclear weapon, would you take military action?
I'm not going to talk about hypotheticals at this moment.
You'll do what you're told, and that's basically what she's saying.